In that moment, I didn't know what to do. Afterwards, I was told that the wind was upwards of 36 knots, which is a lot of wind to have that spinnaker up on the J, on this little girl. The race day started really well, and we were absolutely flying out there and holding a very good position. At some point, we were doing 15 knots. The wind was picking up through the race, but we were 100% confident sailing under full sail and flying the spinnaker. I could see that there was a squall coming on the horizon, and I thought I had enough time, but I didn't. And it came in a lot quicker than what I thought it was going to in the end. When we rounded the mark, we were actually in the lee of 2 tankers that were anchored. And I guess that kind of led me into a bit of a false sense of security, and that's why I pushed to get the spinnaker up in the end. So we got the spinnaker up, and as soon as we got it up, I knew, I was thinking in my head, we need to get it down. I couldn't fill the spinnaker, which is a big red flag, because as much as I was coming up a little bit, edging up to try and get the spinnaker to fill, it's almost like the wind kept backing, which I believe, I guess, was the edge of the squall. And I could feel the wind increasing, but I still couldn't fill the spinnaker. It doesn't matter how much I come up. So because of that, I said, let's get the spinnaker down pretty quickly after we'd gotten it up. But by then it was too late. So by the time James had the spinnaker in his hand, the boat got powered up. Finally, the spinnaker powered up. And with that power up, the boat came up into the wind, and it didn't come back down. Once the wind had brought us up and we were in the broach position, there was nothing that we could do. The rudder was out in the water. I didn't know what to do. Initially, you know, it first happens, and most of the time when you broach, you go, okay, the boat's going to come back down. Okay, you hold your rudder there, the boat will end up back in the water and you'll come back down, but it was relentless and the breeze didn't stop. So because of that, it never came back down, and it just got more powered up and powered up. So in that moment, I didn't know what to do. And then the brain switches in. Okay, systematic. Let's go systematic. Start from the back of the boat. What can we do to stop this from happening? So I went, okay, move forward. I went, first of all, the main sheet's off, travellers down, everything's, the booms, the end of the boom's in the sea, so I can't really ease the main sheet anymore. And then the next one was the kicker, which was the big one. So we released the kicker. As soon as we did that, then the main powered off quite a lot. But it still wasn't enough to bring us down. So that's when we didn't manage to get it on camera because the camera ran out of battery. But what we did in the end is we released all of the halyard from the spinnaker. the tack line from the spinnaker and the sheets from the spinnaker. So the spinnaker was just fully in the water. So we released all of that, and thankfully the spinnaker ended up in the water, and we managed to collect it from there. But yeah, it was intense and definitely a big learning curve. Yeah. Nothing happened. You didn't miss a thing.
I didn't lose my sunglasses either. No, I was down there trying to go through my bag, like I can't see what's in my bag.
So we had a girl on board. She's 16 years old. It's like the third, fourth time she's come out with us. Super keen, very good. She's got a day skipper and everything. And she sailed dinghies a couple times before. So what she did in the end, she ended up climbing on when we were sideways, she climbed onto the outside of the hull and was thinking that her weight is going to pull the boat back up to right it like a laser. I was like, oh God, no. I was like, get inside the boat. If anything, and my biggest worry with her being on the side of the boat was that the spinnaker would rip, because the spinnaker was still up, right, at this point. If the spinnaker had ripped and the boat righted, she would be in the water. So that's what I'm thinking. And she's like, oh, I'm helping. I'm like, oh, bless you. Like, her little 50 kilos of weight wouldn't have made a huge amount of difference on that keel at that point. But yeah, I looked at her, I said, get your ass inside this boat right now. But yeah, funnily enough, it didn't scare her off. And I think if anything, it's encouraged her to come back and sail more with us, because of the adrenaline rush from it.
I live on a boat, and I've lived on a boat since I was 13. And we started sailing from England we made it to Gibraltar. And I love sailing, but obviously it's a cruiser boat, so it's a lot easier than racing. It's like you just whack the autopilot on and then just cruise along, try and keep the same wind angle, and then, yeah. But sailing is more like racing is an adrenaline rush for it.
My biggest concern at the time was actually the water going inside the boat. So I kept looking down at the companionway, and the water at certain points was inches away from just pouring inside. And once that happened, in my head, I'm going, we're just gonna keep filling up with water. And once we keep filling up with water, we're just gonna sink. We won't sink, but I understand that. But that was one of my biggest concerns. And I kept looking inside. I was going, okay, there's no water inside. It's not reached the companionway yet. Okay, let's try and get the boat flat.
When the mast was completely in the water, where you're thinking this mast is most likely going to snap, and you start kind of, in those 30 seconds, all these thoughts go through your head, thinking worst case scenario, is the boat going to start filling with water? So even though everything was under control, it could have very easily been much worse.
The crew was shocked. I think, and I mean, I was too, right? You're sideways on a boat that's not designed to be sideways, and you're going, okay, what's happening? It takes a minute for your brain to catch up and go, okay, you need to fix this. It's your job to fix all of it. There was nothing that we could have done other than what we did.
Yeah, and that's the truth, isn't it?
Yeah, just let everything go.
The crew reacted well, I think, for a situation that we were in. I think we dealt with it quite well, because normally we have broached in the past, but it's kind of a 5-10 second thing and you kind of put the weight back. But this was kind of more severe, because we realised we weren't broaching back, but everyone stayed calm. So I'm a little bit too keen and eager jumping on the keel, which I can understand the logic behind, but wasn't very helpful.
But the crew worked really well in the end, really well. It didn't get caught on the video, but we did contemplate cutting the lines, cutting the spinnaker off. So unfortunately, or fortunately, we didn't have a knife with us, which is another learning curve for future reference. Always have a knife in your pocket, which we should always when we're sailing. And so one of our crew member, James, he went down below to try and find his leatherman to come up and cut it off. But at that point, we had already been able to get the situation under control. So, right.
It should have been on me, not in the bottom of my bag. It should have been on that nice little pocket on the life jackets we weren't wearing, actually.
I guess if that situation happened again, the first thing you got to do is depower the spinnaker, because that's what was making us broach so bad. And in that moment, it's kind of just quick reaction, think, how can I depower it, rather than trying to do other things, which can help, but sometimes aren't as effective.
So the only thing that stopped us was getting the spinnaker in the water, which is a little bit different from our last situation, because the last time we didn't want the spinnaker in the water. This time we wanted it there to slow us down, to stop us from being over sideways and being overpowered. Yeah.
It's difficult to judge, actually, because in hindsight, we shouldn't have ever put the kite up. But in a racing scenario, you want to be always on that edge. So actually, I don't think we did anything wrong, because if you want to compete at the level we want to compete at, you've always got to be on that edge. So stuff happens, but I think our call was right to try it.
Obviously, it makes me want to race more because I found it was such an adrenaline rush, and I just really enjoyed it, and I like the pressure of it. And actually, it showed me something that's like a bad situation, and I don't think it can get much worse than that, which is good because I've been through a bad situation. Like, it helped me deal with that. So in future, if I have something similar, not to panic in.
Still, the incident did not pass without any damage to the boat. The spinnaker halyard fairlead at the top of the mast ripped off completely, and that had to be fixed. But otherwise, there was no major damage.
Luckily, once we managed to get everything under control, put the spinnaker away after we'd fished it out the water, which was quite an experience, we then had a little debrief and we said what we could have done, how we reacted, and it was a good learning curve as well.
Ironically, the wind died down to almost nothing for a little while, so we had plenty of time to debrief and chat about what we could have done, what we did do right, what we did do wrong. So it was a good opportunity while it was all still fresh, as we carried on racing.
We probably should have let the halyard go sooner, so that's my bad. I should have taken that stuff off. But in hindsight, you know. What do you?
Well, when you're thinking about holding on, you're not really thinking about.
No.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think we could have done to prevent that from happening?
I think we were pushing it, getting it up in the first place.
Yeah.
But that's easy to say now.
Yeah.
Get it down sooner.
Yeah. We could have got it down sooner. I agree.
Maybe probably depowered, maybe paced. You saw that the wind was coming so hard. Maybe brought it in.
It was because you were holding on to it and it was powering up and I couldn't steer down because it was powered up.
Yeah, that's why.
It's just a combination of little things, right?
Yeah. So if I'd let go, and we abandoned
the douse, I would have been able to get a little bit of more of an angle down.
Yeah.
But we would have, if we got it down too late. It was too late.
Yeah.
Even I remember thinking, I'm going, we need to get the spinnaker down. And by the time I'd said it, it had been like 10 seconds. I probably should have said it as soon as I thought it, but you need to process these things.
Yeah.
So what about in the situation? What do you think we could have done better in the situation?
No, we don't know that.
No, I know, but you know, there's always room for improvement.
It's good
It's good to have the license.
Yeah.
Exactly what we did.
But yeah, maybe we should have let the halyard up sooner.
Yeah.
No, there was a knot in the halyard that point. Should have undone the knot
Yeah.
for the halyard.
Yeah.
I think we need a quick release knot in that halyard rather than that knot.
Release the seat main.
Couldn't. Boom was in the water.
Yeah, no, it wasn't to start with, and then I released it.
Yeah.
Took too long.
But actually physically getting to it.
Yeah. I mean, but by the time we're over, I was looking at the boom going, boom's in fucking what? There's nothing we can do. It's stuck all. There is nothing we can do except this. And I'm like, with the rudder, like, I'm just holding on to it at this point. I wasn't even in the fucking water.
Yeah, I looked at it and the rudder was on the water.
I'm like,
no point.
This is it.
I didn't know what to do.
Airball.
Oh well.
We handled it like pros though.
Yeah.
No one fell over.
No one fell over, nobody got hurt.
The boat was up.
Yeah.
You know that tilt video that we did?
You know it's bad when you can stand up straight there.
Oh.
I was sitting on the mast like a season.
No, when I was outside the boat, it felt like I was standing up.
Yeah. Oh, man. I saw her get outside the guardrail. I'm like, get the fuck inside the guardrail. Because all I could see was the spinnaker splitting or something, and the boat coming back upright again, and then flinging you off.
Like a cat.
Jesus.
Have you seen that guy? I think it's like one of the Henry Lloyd boats. They're hard over.
Yeah.
And he runs up to the front
Yeah,
of the mast.
it's Hugo Boss.
Hugo Boss, yeah.
Thank you. I'm just glad the rig didn't snap. To be fair,
I thought them on.
I thought the mast was going to go, actually. Good job, Valkyrie. Good girl. Good girl.
So she need a treat.
Good job.
It's annoying, isn't it?
What a little treat. It's
Yeah,
okay, we're going to
she's
take it
alright.
out of the water next week.
Yeah.
We got that on camera too. Good job. Nice.